Welcome, everyone. You're listening to a special deep dive designed just for you to help you finally chat like a native. You know that feeling, right? You're speaking English, things are going okay, and then boom, you hit that wall, your brain just freezes because it's trying to translate everything word for word from your native language. It's exhausting.
Oh, absolutely. That internal translation thing.
Yeah.
It's the biggest killer of fluency.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Right.
Thinking in your language, translating, then speaking. It's slow, it's clunky. It just doesn't work if you want to sound natural and spontaneous.
Exactly. And that hesitation, it often makes you feel self-conscious, doesn't it? So you speak even slower, maybe quieter.
It's a vicious cycle.
Well, today our mission is to help you cut that cord. We've looked into 3 really powerful strategies: thought chaining, lexical chunks, and collocations. These are designed to help you bypass that whole translation mess.
Right. The goal isn't just about cramming more vocabulary. It's about retraining your brain. It's optimizing how you use the English you already have so you can retrieve ideas naturally.
And that frees up so much mental energy, right? For things like getting the pronunciation right, the tone.
Or just, actually enjoying the conversation instead of constantly calculating in your head.
Okay, so let's dig into the first one. Strategy 1, thought chaining. Linking mini ideas. Sounds good in theory, but how does it work in practice? Like when you're actually talking to someone?
Well, the key is not trying to build some big, complex, perfect sentence in your head beforehand. Instead, you just link small, simple ideas together, mini ideas, one after the other.
Like a chain.
Exactly. It kind of forces you to be more spontaneous, to think in English as you go.
I like the visual they use, the arrow. Like, I woke up late, traffic was bad, missed my meeting, felt stressed.
Yes. That arrow is your mental connector. It could be so or then or because, whatever fits the flow.
So you're not translating a big, complicated thought.
No. You're just connecting small English thoughts with English connectors. It breaks that translation habit right away. And if one little link is a bit awkward, doesn't matter. You just move to the next one. Keep the momentum going.
Okay, so how do you practice this? Start really small.
Definitely. Start with just one mini idea, like, I'm tired. Simple.
Then maybe link 2. I'm tired because I stayed up late.
Perfect. And then you build up. A really practical way is to chain thoughts about your day. Think through your morning. Finished breakfast, left the house, commute was long, started work. Just link them up.
So if someone asks, say, how was your weekend? Instead of planning a paragraph.
You chain it. It was good. Met some friends. We watched a movie, ate dinner, relaxed.
The flow just comes out naturally then.
Over time, yes. Your brain starts automatically turning those arrows into smooth connectors like and, then, so. It establishes the flow first, which is crucial for fluency.
Okay, so thought chaining gives us the structure, the flow. But what about the words themselves? If the chain links are basic, we still won't sound very native-like.
Exactly. You need better building materials for your chain. And that's where strategy 2 comes in, lexical chunks.
The building blocks.
Right. These are just groups of words that native speakers use together all the time. They pull them out of memory as one unit, not word by word.
Like ready-made phrases?
Pretty much. And there are different kinds you need to watch out for.
Okay, like what?
Well, you've got fixed expressions, things like at the end of the day, or by the way, didn't really change.
Right, and semi-fixed ones?
Yeah, like as far as I know. Or, on the other hand, there's a little flexibility sometimes, but they're still pretty standard chunks.
And phrasal verbs are huge here too, aren't they? Give up, look into, deal with.
Absolutely crucial. And common sentence starters too, like, would you mind if, or I used to?
Oh.
Those are chunks.
So the big advantage is it just makes speaking easier, less mental work.
Totally. Think about it. Pulling, by the way, as one block takes way less brain power than finding by, then the, then way, and sticking them together correctly.
It frees up your mind.
Exactly. You're not constructing word by word. You retrieve the whole chunk. Boom. It makes your speech much more idiomatic, much faster.
Okay, but hold on. If I just start throwing it at the end of the day, and as far as I know, all the time, won't I sound, well, a bit repetitive? Or like I'm using cliches?
That's a fair point. But it's about picking the right chunks. We're not talking about learning loads of obscure idioms just for the sake of it. Focus on the high-frequency ones, the backbone chunks, especially those used in conversation to structure what you're saying or fill a pause naturally.
Things native speakers use all the time without thinking.
Precisely. Your job is to become a chunk collector. When you're reading or listening, really pay attention. Notice phrases that keep popping up.
And the key is treat them as one single thing, right? Don't break them down, like keep a notebook or flashcards, but on the other hand is one entry.
Yes, exactly. Don't analyze the grammar inside the chunk too much. Just learn it as a whole piece.
And passive learning isn't enough here, is it? You have to actively recall them.
Absolutely critical. Just reading lists won't cut it. You need things like fill-in-the-blank exercises, like you see, all the book tomorrow. And your brain should instantly supply checkout without translating. That's the goal. Active recall.
Okay, so we have structure with chaining, building blocks with chunks. What's next?
The refinement. Making sure the words within those blocks or between them actually sound natural together. That's strategy 3. Collocations.
Right, collocations, words that just like to hang out together.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're words that frequently go together naturally in English. And honestly, this is where fluency really shines. But it's also a major stumbling block for learners.
Why is that?
Because you often can't predict them just by translating from your own language. The logic doesn't always carry over.
Okay. But wait a sec. How is something like heavy rain a collocation, but at the end of the day is a chunk? They both seem like words that stick together. What's the real difference for me as a learner?
That's a really important question. Think of it like this. Lexical chunks are often quite fixed, sometimes idiomatic, like kick the bucket. You can't guess the meaning from the words. They function as a single unit with a specific meaning or function.
Okay.
Collocations, though. The words usually keep their individual meanings. It's just that certain words strongly prefer certain partners. It's the natural standard pairing.
Ah, I see. So if I say strong rain, maybe translating literally, people understand me.
Yeah, they'll probably get it.
But it just sounds a bit off, like a little speed bump for a native speaker's ear.
Exactly. It's not wrong in a way that stops communication, but it's a clear sign you're not quite fluent yet. The natural standard pairing is heavy rain.
Or like saying do progress instead of...
Make progress. Yep. Or take a photo, not make a photo. Getting these wrong is a real giveaway.
So you really have to learn these through exposure, not just logic or translation.
Definitely. You need to notice them.
What are the best ways to learn them then?
Well, specialized collocation dictionaries, online ones, are great. Can help you check partnerships. Like what adjectives go with challenge, what verbs go with decision.
Okay.
And again, active reading and listening. When you see or hear pairs like high quality or take part in or deeply concerned, make a note of them. Highlight them mentally or physically.
And active practice too, I guess.
Yes. Try taking a common word, like say strong, and then actively try to recall and write down maybe 3 or 4 words that naturally collocate with it.
Like strong wind, strong coffee,
Right.
strong argument.
Perfect. Doing that regularly trains your brain to retrieve those natural pairs instantly. You stop needing the mental dictionary.
Right. So we've got the framework thought chaining, we've got the building blocks, lexical chunks, and the Polish collocations. Now, how do we put it all together? How does this become part of like a daily routine?
That's where the real magic happens when they start working together. Synergizing. You start building your thought chains. But instead of just basic words, you consciously slot in those chunks and correct collocations you've been learning.
Ah, okay. So my chain about the commute might suddenly include a chunk like on the way home, or maybe I use a phrasal verb I practice like ran into an old friend.
Exactly. It instantly makes your chain sound more sophisticated, more natural, more fluent.
But that integration needs practice, right? Consistent practice. The sources mention a specific routine, like a 30-minute daily workout.
Yes, and it's really well structured. Think of it less like studying and more like training your mental retrieval muscles. Consistency is absolutely key.
Okay, bring it down for us. What does this 30-minute routine look like?
All right, first 5 minutes, chunk discovery. You read or listen actively, looking for maybe 3 to 5 useful chunks or collocations you want to learn. Write them down as whole units.
Got it.
Next 5 minutes, chunk recall. This is crucial. Cover up the list you just made. Try to reproduce the chunks from memory. And then use each one in a simple sentence you create yourself.
So you're testing yourself immediately, fighting that passive learning trap.
Exactly. If you can't recall it easily, you haven't got it yet. This active retrieval really cements it in your memory way better than just rereading.
Makes sense. What's next? Third step.
Third, another 5 minutes for chaining practice. Pick a simple topic, what you did yesterday, your plans for tomorrow, whatever. Chain maybe 4 to 6 mini thoughts together. And here's the important part. Consciously try to weave in one or two of the chunks or collocations you just practiced recalling.
Ah, so you're immediately applying them in a slightly more complex structure, moving from isolation to integration.
Precisely. Step 4, 5 minutes. Speaking or role play. Take that chain you just built and actually say it out loud, like a mini monologue. Or pretend someone asked you a question and use the chain to answer.
Okay, so you're actually practicing the output, the flow.
Right. And you'll notice where you hesitate, where the flow breaks down. That tells you where your mental shortcuts aren't quite working yet.
Which leads perfectly into the fifth step, doesn't it? 5 minutes of reflection and correction.
Yes. This is so important. Take a few minutes just to think back on the speaking practice. Don't beat yourself up, but notice which chunk felt awkward, which collocation didn't come to mind, where did I hesitate?
So you're kind of becoming your own coach, identifying specific weak spots.
Exactly. That reflection helps you target your practice for the next day. It trains your internal editor.
And the final 5 minutes.
Exposure and input. Just spend 5 minutes reading or listening again, but this time with the specific goal of spotting new potential chunks and collocations for tomorrow's discovery phase. It keeps the cycle going.
That whole 30-minute routine sounds really focused and efficient, but what about mistakes? Grammar errors. When I'm doing the chaining or speaking practice, should I be worried about being perfectly accurate?
That's a classic dilemma for learners. The advice is pretty clear. Balance is key. During the focused practice, like the chunk recall part, maybe slow down a bit. Aim for accuracy. Make sure you're using the chunk correctly.
Okay.
But when you're doing the spontaneous chaining or the speaking practice, try to let go of perfectionism a bit. Focus on the flow, the momentum.
So prioritize fluency in that moment.
Yes. If you stop to correct every little grammar mistake during the flow practice, you'll kill the spontaneity you're trying to build.
So it's like having different modes, a practice accuracy mode and a practice fluency mode.
That's a great way to think about it. Deliberately alternate your focus depending on the exercise.
And one big pitfall to avoid, I guess, is breaking those chunks down again, like trying to translate, on the other hand, piece by piece.
Oh, absolutely. You have to resist that urge. Accept the chunk as a whole concept, a single unit. Don't translate its internal parts. That defeats the whole purpose.
So if you stick with this kind of consistent practice, what kind of results can you realistically expect?
The sources suggest it's pretty predictable, actually. You should start feeling less hesitation, maybe just smoother connections between ideas within just a week or two.
Really? That fast?
For the initial feeling, yes.
Okay.
Then, many of those common high-frequency chunks will start becoming automatic after maybe a few months of consistent daily work.
Okay.
And the big payoff. After about 6 months of keeping up this kind of focused daily routine, your overall spontaneous speech should be noticeably better, smoother, faster, more natural, because you've started to rewire how your brain processes English.
Wow. So to wrap things up for everyone listening,
Right.
these strategies really give you the tools and the confidence to keep conversations flowing, right? Chaining links your ideas together simply. Chunks give you those ready-made phrases to plug in. And collocations make sure your word choices sound natural.
Exactly. And the big picture here, the ultimate goal, is to train your mind to just stay in English for longer stretches. You know, when you catch yourself drifting back to your native language to plan what you're going to say, gently pull yourself back. Just a quick mental note. Stay in English. You're trying to break that old inefficient habit. Think and translate speak.
And replace it with just think in English, speak.
Precisely. One smooth process.
So here's a final thought, maybe a challenge for you. The next time you have a really simple, everyday thought like what you want for dinner tonight or how you'll get to work tomorrow, can you try to have that entire thought start to finish only in English? Maybe even use a mini chain. Feel hungry. I want pizza, order online.
Yes. That tiny shift, performing those simple internal monologue directly in English using these techniques, that's the real beginning of sounding and feeling truly fluent. Keep practicing those chains, keep collecting those chunks and noticing those collocations. You absolutely will chat like a native much sooner than you think.